Hello there, people. This is Amma, Mamet to some of you. Welcome to this one. So, this topic is one that most people shy away from, but I'm not. I'm actually going to address this topic, and I'm going to address this topic in its entirety this time. Okay. It is a thing that is doing the rounds on social media, and a lot of people send it to me. I don't know if people just don't sit down to think holistically, or it's easier and convenient just to jump on and find people to blame. And I think because the people in this story are West Africans generally, Nigerians and Ghanaians, people send them to me almost as if I'm responsible for these. Okay, I accept responsibility for this, so I am going to address this once and for all. I'm going to tell you the story with one of the more famous ones, an Australian lady. Her name was Yetta Jacobs. I'm bringing the Yetta Jacobs story because it was one of the extreme ones. Okay, Yetta Jacobs, remember her name. Yetta Jacobs at the time was 67, right? And the person she was dating and she got scammed by, the person who was arrested for her death in the end, was a 28-year-old Oroko Jesse Omoko. Jesse Orowo Omoko. Jesse is not 30. Yetta is 67. Remember these things. Yetta, let me read a little bit of the profile and then we will talk. Okay. So I am reading from the heraldsun.com.au. It's an Australian paper. And this says, a West Australian woman went to South Africa to find love, has been found dead in her rented villa in a suspected romance scam. The body of Yetta Jacobs, 67, of Wagon, was found in her rented Johannesburg villa by police February 19. Okay, so Yetta is 67. She is a grandmother. I've seen her daughter and her son. I don't know if she had any other kids, but I've seen her daughter and her son on interview. 67, nearly 70. In a love scam with a 28-year-old. We will tell this story, and we will tell this story in its entirety. When this story is often brought to me, it is brought to me on the premise of the West African scams. You know, these West Africans are scamming women. It is disgraceful. And can I just say that I have absolutely no support of the boys who do this, well, and the girls who do this. I think they are all shameless. Most of these people are degree educated, just so you know. Most of the people who do this are intelligent. They are incredibly quick-witted. Some of the time, the stories are told, and the stories are told in particular ways that don't prepare the ordinary person for what this really is. So, like I said, I'm going to tell the story in its entirety. I'm going to call a spade a spade. And look, if you are going to be able to stomach this video, you are going to have to put emotions to one side completely, because I am going to tell it as it is, and I'm going to place responsibility exactly where it belongs on both sides. So most of these kids are university educated. They are lazy buggers, don't want to go and work. They want cheap fame. They want quick money. That's their wish. Why does this work? Is because on the other side, there's also people who don't know their place in life. Fat old women like me, 67 grandmother, wanting to get in a relationship with a 20. I mean, that's pedophilia, you know. That is pedophilia. We don't want to go there. We will go there today. If at 67, you want to be in a relationship with a 28-year-old, that is sick. That is wrong. That is problematic on many, many, many levels. I mean, 90-day fiancé is another one. You see many of them. The most famous one is Angela and Michael. Michael is 30 or 33. Angela is 50-something, approaching 60. Again, we will come to those bottom lines. Like I said, for these boys, it is greed. It is the love of quick money. It is wanting to make progress quickly to satiate a society that glorifies and celebrates any kind of money, but refuses to ask questions about it. Yeah, those are the responsibilities on that side. On this other side, there's also a lot of people who want to take advantage of young men. People who have no business messing with these boys. People who should be old enough and should know better, who refuse to know better. People who should know how to comport themselves as grandmothers, who don't know how to comport themselves as grandmothers. So they want to prey on very young kids. They want to prey on poor people. They want to be able to lock these boys into devotion and dedication. Again, Angela and Michael, my case study. If you see how Angela has treated Michael, the way Angela is rude, and how Michael patiently tolerates this woman, well, you've got to know Michael is also not stupid. Angela wants what Angela wants. Angela does what Angela does. And Michael also wants what he wants. And he does what he does. If you can't condemn Angela, I don't know on what basis you get the impetus to condemn Michael. These are two adults, both looking for things, both seeking in their own ways. And the game is, may the quickest person win. This is the thing. This is the thing most people don't seem to understand. May the quickest person win. The most fast-witted one will win. And the one who is slow will lose. Catch me if you can is this game. It is a game between two people who are themselves not morally above board at all. We've got to say this. None of the participants in this game is morally upstanding in any way. Let's go back to the Yetta story. So Yetta is 67. Yetta meets Jesse, 28, from Nigeria, on a dating app. Yetta decides to marry and live happily ever after with Jesse. When you are in looking for somebody's youth, you want their youth and virality. Well, they also want your money. That's the bottom line. You want something. They want something. Why is it that you are allowed to prey on people's youth, but they are not allowed to prey on your money? It's not my style, but I don't judge them. You go in looking for something. They come in looking for something too. Respectable old women who are sitting in their villas, minding their business, chilling with their pensioners, are not scammed by these boys. We will call a spade, as I said on this video today. Respectable old women who are not chilling with little children, even if they are not messing with any man, are happily sitting in their villas. They are not romantically scammed. This happens to the old men too. The latest one in the Ghanaian domain, again, is this Hajia for real, Mona's case. Mona is gorgeous. Mona is beautiful. And if you go and look at some of the people who are claiming to want to be in a relationship with this girl, you realize how delusional some of these people are. You think a girl like that, who looks like that, who has a profile like that, is coming to you for what? Entertainment purposes? You are for her youth and her body and her virality. She is for your money, your pocket, your essence. That's what she's after. Again, you could be her grandfather and you think it's okay for you to pray, right? Yeah, poor African girl, we will give her $5 and $10 and get away with it. Well, you discover that these girls are also not that stupid. They don't want $5, they want 2 million. They want 2 million. And no, they're not giving it up that quick. You will give the money before. And if you are not lucky, you will give the money and get nothing. Most of these things come on the news. When people give the money up and the girls don't give it up. You go wanting to play a quick-witted game with somebody who is quicker, faster, wittier. And when you get outwitted, we hear about it. When these people go and exploit these girls in their native languages and they are successful, their native lands, and they are successful in taking advantage of these girls, and so many of these kids also get taken advantage of. There are so many pedophiles, especially in West Africa. They are preying on the girls, they are preying on the boys, they are doing all sorts of random things, but that one, we don't discuss it because it's the poor African who's done, the victims of poverty who are done. When the rhetoric is flipped, and these people who would have been on the receiving end figure out a way to outwit and to play the master at the game, that's when we hear about this. And people come to me asking me to condemn. What is it exactly do you want me to condemn? Let me tell you what I'm condemning. I am condemning the attitude where older people attempt to exploit younger people. I don't care whether you are a male or a female exploiting a younger person. I condemn it. I condemn somebody who has more money wanting to take advantage of somebody who has less money. I condemn it. I condemn condemn some of you who bring your own funny things of age old and want to teach it to children and give them chicken change. Because if these kids are not smart, if these kids don't survive, the kids are done and they suffer some serious ramification which is never covered. I condemn that one too. I condemn boys and girls who come and lure you and take your money from you. But I also say that those boys and girls are successful because of your own deep-seated behaviors, which are also not worthy of celebration. We've got to go there. The story of Jesse. So Jesse has gone to South Africa. What happens to common sense in some of these stories? I don't know. Listen, this boy would have preferred to come to Australia. I'm very sure he would have come to Australia, because most of my people think there's money in the West. He would have come to Australia. Did she want him in Australia? Oh no. Oh no. No, Jesse didn't want him in Australia. This boy also didn't want her in Nigeria. I'm sure he has his own hammam, he has his own gig going on, and he did not want any 67-year-old woman cramping his style in Nigeria. So he says, no, don't come to Nigeria. So what was the happy compromise? Johannesburg, South Africa. At 67 years old, at 47 years old, at 37 years old, honey, even at 27 years old. When you go into these relationships and a person asks you for your first dime, you beware. You need to also sit down and ask yourself the reasons why you are with this person or you are exploring this person, and you will find often it is not honorable. It is not honorable. Why would you take $80,000 choppable dollars and give to a guy sitting in Africa somewhere? Why? Because you want a piece of his body, right? Yes, they will show you the body. The girls will show you the body. They will entice you with the body. That's all they've got. And in fact, most of the time, especially with those of you who think you are looking at girls, the people behind the pictures and the images you are seeing are men. I'm telling you now, they are men. The best thing for you is for you to stay in your lane. I don't know how many times I find myself repeating this phrase in the last few months. Stay in your lane. Find people you know. Go to places where you can cross-check and cross-reference. Frolic with old women your age. If Yetta was playing with a 70-something-year-old scammer, even if it was a 70-something-year-old scammer, no matter how skilled a scammer he is, by 70 he would have slowed down. He would not have swindled her of as much money as this young boy was. This one is young, this one is new, this one is high-tech, this one understands the game to levels Yetta did not understand. So finally, when she was found, I think the day she was found dead, she had about $5 to her name at that time. She had gone to rent a villa. This boy had made excuses after excuses of not coming. He eventually did come, but when he did come, there was no money. That might I'm not even sure where the thing is. The case has developed up to now, but this case is very likely to end up a foolish case. And no, it's not because of South African law enforcement and their inefficiencies only. It is just because of the story and how foolish the whole story is in the first place. Yeah? There's been a murder. But the way this has happened, well, there's been a death, let's say. The way this thing has happened and how the story is convoluted and it's just a contorted story. It's difficult to wrap your head around it. Why would he want to kill her when he arrived, when she only had $5 to her name? Where could she go? Where was her family when she was doing all this? Well, her kids say that they advised mom. Mom will not listen. Her kids are certainly older. Her son could be the father of Jesse. Grandmama is playing with grandchildren. And we won't talk about that one, would we? No. Because it's the little West African boy who is now a bastard because he has taken advantage of a pedophile. Or are we actually going to call the spade a spade? Are we going to name things exactly the way we should name them? Are we going to tell the truth for a change, first time round? Or are we going to play with this as usual? You wanted me to tell the story. We will tell the story. So let me read something from Yetta's son. Miss Jacob's son, who did not want to be named, said that her friends and family had tried to talk her out of going to South Africa, but she could not be swayed. Mom went over for a couple of months and did not return. So you see, one consequence of the internet scammers has taken her life. One consequence of mom's desire to frolic with children has taken her life. We will have to flip the conversation all the ways around so we understand all of it. Yes, we will blame the internet scammers. Blame them. I have no protection for them. But also blame the pedophilia. Should we? Must we? Will we? He urged others who find love on the internet to be cautious. Don't go, because at the end of the day, they are running a business or a scam or what they want to believe it is, to lure people to go to Africa. And no saying it's one way, and no saying it's a one-way ticket, but there's a possibility it's a one-way ticket and no return. If you do meet someone who's truly in love with you, money does not buy it. So now let's start dealing with this with common sense. If you meet a person on the internet, especially the ones who will chat, they will bomb your message, your inbox with message after message. They want to know what's in your intestines. What they are trying to do is get you hooked to them. Why are you hooked to them in the first place? Because most of the people they find are also lonely people. They are people who don't engage with other people. They are people who, for whatever reason, are on the internet seeking companionship on the internet for other underlying factors. Yeah? They will bombard you, and at some point, even you and your logic will have to kick in and ask yourself, why is this person disinterested in me? You don't ask those common sense questions anymore. Huh? Is it because it's the internet suddenly common sense has evaporated? No. If somebody expresses an interest in you, you want to ask yourself the question, why is this person interested in me? I'm 67. Why will a 28-year-old be interested in me? And please come to the original conclusion. Your money for their body. Repeat after me. Your money for their body. Your money for their youth. Your money for their virality. Your influence for them. You want to get something from them. They want something from you too. Are you willing to trade? If you are willing to trade, proceed. If you are not willing to trade, please, abort mission at this point. Abort mission. Abort it. I'm going to Nigeria. I'm going to Ghana to go and meet. Hey! Honey? Please don't. Stay in your Western country. Stay in the territory you know. It might be better for you to invite them to come over. At least there you may have security mechanisms. You may have safety nets. I am West African. I am very Ghanaian. But even I will not go to Ghana in some places to go mess. There are certain places in Ghana I will not go and mess. Sometimes you just need to know you. You need to understand your own limitations and apply gumption, ordinary common sense, and come to sensible conclusions. No, I will not go to certain places in Ghana to go meet certain people in Ghana. I certainly won't. So I wonder why people older than me may not even come to this conclusion themselves. I'm certainly not going to Lagos to go meet a young man in a place I have never visited before, in a place where the language spoken is not one I understand, in a place with a whole different culture from what I have, to go and play what game exactly? Think about it. What is it do you think the game is? You're going to Lagos to pursue a young man. They are happy waiting for you in Lagos. Yeah, good luck on that trip. Don't call us. My number is out of coverage area from this day. The day you board that flight to go to Lagos, or to go to Accra, or to go to Monrovia, I don't care where you go on the coast. If you foolishly board a flight to go to a place you don't know, to pursue a man you've never met before, whose pictures you've seen, and yes, most of the time when these guys are apprehended, the face behind the picture is not the picture on the social media profile. They read you. They read your own greed. They read you. They read the things that you want to get out of it, and they project it for you. Again, you have to realize that they are playing reverse psychology with you. They are playing reverse psychology with you. You know what you want, so they show it to you. And they get what they want from you too. Yeah, we need to sit and interrogate all these things. We need to come to realizations about all these things because I want this nonsense to end. So I am calling this BS out right now. These boys are sitting behind computers looking for your frailties and they will exploit your frailties. So you sit first and identify your own frailties and make sure that you have addressed these. When your frailties are addressed, these boys don't have a leg to stand on to do to you again. They don't. As long as your frailties remain, they will continue to do it to you successfully. You must also own some of these things. Yeah. People will come at me. And the Nigerian boys, yes. They showed you the Nigerian lifestyle and lured you, didn't it? Yeah. You are an ordinary teacher. You want to go and live the lifestyle of a superstar. Are you a superstar? No. But you want to live the superstar life regardless, right? Well, that's how they will get you. It's your greed that will get them to have you. It is you also being exploitative. You want to exploit somebody. That's why they will have you. There is always an underlying factor on both ends. It is their greed. It is their desire for quick money. It is their lack of conscience. I get it. But where is your conscience too? These boys have no conscience. Okay, I agree. They are bastards. But where is your conscience? Which conscience are we operating with when a 67-year-old is messing with a 28-year-old? Please find that conscience for me. And once you find that conscience for me, I promise you I will look for the conscience for my brothers too. Find the conscience for me. Show me the conscience. And I will find my brothers and I will bollock them into having some conscience too. Are we understanding each other? This problem is not caused by one side alone. No. This problem is caused by alignment between both parties. Wrong alignment of values. Yeah. Problematic behaviors on both sides align to create this issue. And no, we will not be able to palm it off on one party alone. No way. Everybody involved is going to own their part in this so that we all collectively as a group can stand a chance to find a solution. That's the conversation we are actually finding. Yeah. So, WA's Scamnet top tips to avoid relationship fraud. I'm going to read that for you and you will find that you didn't need a Scamnet group to give you these. They are common sense. 1. Do not respond to out of the blue social media messages from strangers requesting romance, such as friend requests on Facebook. Be on your guard if someone you meet on an online dating site asks you to take the conversation over to email or instant messaging. Be wary of overseas-based singles, especially if they confess their love for you after a short amount of time or want to know about your financial status. Remember that just because someone shares personal photos does not mean the pictures are of them. Scammers often steal other people's photos. Don't be fooled into thinking that talking to somebody on the phone means you know them and that they are who they say they are. Be concerned if a person refuses to chat real time via a webcam, and be mindful that even Skype is not scam approved. Watch out for pre-recorded videos. Alarm bells should ring if someone you do not know personally, have never met face to face, requests money, particularly by wire transfer service like Western Union or even direct bank transfers, which could be going to an account set up with a stolen identity. I mean, come on. Why are you sending money to a young man that you have fallen in love with in Timbuktu? Are you luring them with money? Are you trying to exploit them by giving them some chicken change? You want to sprinkle $5 so that you have them? Why are you sending money? Since when did it become ordinary practice for you to be sending money to your amorous entanglements? You meet a guy in your street and you start sending them money. Is that how this works? Oh, they are so poor in Africa. Who? You are the savior of Africa, right? Thank you for your philanthropy. We appreciate your money in Africa. Well, if you are here for philanthropy, honey, well, we don't promise love in return, you know. If my little brothers are lying to you and promising you love in return for philanthropy, honey, I highly recommend that you end this nonsense immediately before you come crying. I am sick and tired of listening to people spin this one in one way only. And I want to make sure that you understand some fundamentals. Look, I am also a middle-aged fat woman. Please, no, you can see me. I am not going to be attractive to a 28-year-old. Please, no. If a 28-year-old finds me attractive, my common sense should suggest that something is not right. What about me is attractive to a 28-year-old? Please tell me. What about me is attractive to a 28-year-old? Then let me ask the question. At my age, why does a flipping 28-year-old catch my fancy? Why am I attracted to a 28-year-old? If I am attracted to a 28-year-old, there is a predator thing that we need to consider. When the predator goes hunting and the prey turns round and predates on the predator, we come and we hear these conversations. Some of these rabbits, they know how to fight. Some of these rabbits, they know how to run. And some of these rabbits know how to lure you into dens of bigger animals. That's what's happening here. You go on the hunt hoping to catch a little pathetic rabbit. The rabbits have just learned to flip the game and they lead you to bigger animals that will devour you. Honey, if you were not looking to take advantage in the first place, like I've asked, what is my business with a 28-year-old? Me. If I had a kid, like most of my, not most, like some of the people who did in their teens, that could be my son. My sister's son is around that age. My nephew is that age. Why the hell am I frolicking with my nephew? And why the hell is that okay to anybody? That's the first thing. Because in fact, when I place responsibilities, I always place responsibility with the older person. You should know better. You should know better. Don't you think? You should know better. This is what we all don't want to discuss, but I told you I was going to bring it here. I expect this video to actually rouse a lot of feelings. I expect to hear a lot of comments, so I shall meet you in the comment section. But before we do so, can I remind you that you are also an adult responsible for your utterances, and I will certainly respond to you accordingly in the tone you choose to communicate in. Come back with your questions. If I can answer them, I will. These boys are not, I'm not their spokesperson, and I don't support what they do in any way. I am disgusted by what they do because they give those who want to live a pure, honest life a very bad name. It's quite difficult for the younger boys from these regions to be able to engage with people on any respectable basis, but the other side of the conversation also needed to be told. So here we go. I will meet you in the comment section, and if necessary, I will follow on with some videos.